Yeah, but who's gonna throw the edit on it?
We're live.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let's just double check this and make sure that we are all good to go. Looks like we
are. We're live. I'm pretty sure we're live. I see the red button.
Okay, so should I just start talking?
hold on. Oh, I hear me twice. Yeah, I think we are live. Let's get
I'm not
everybody
allowed
in
to talk
here.
until I get the thumbs up. I haven't got the thumbs up yet.
That's like when Kemp gets off the bus. He's got to it took him a couple times to do this. When he gets off the bus, he's got to look back at the bus driver, and she gives him the thumbs up, and he gives the thumbs up, and then he's able to walk across the
And
street.
the bus can leave.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, what's
he
up?
starts walking across the street.
What's
Welcome,
up, everybody? Welcome to the Bronx Pinstripe Show. There's gonna be a game 5. Cole did it. He did it, Scott. I don't know if you had the confidence in him, but now you said after you see it, have you changed your tune on Gerrit Cole?
Yeah, he looked really good today. He looked in control. He looked like he was out there with some he had some good body language, which I appreciated. He controlled the game. There's no doubt about it. He looked the part tonight. He looked absolutely the part tonight. And I love the fact that he finished the 7th inning, finished it strong, just rearing back and throwing gas. Even missed a couple spots, but Ron Donald was talking about it. Like at that point, you're pulling back and you're giving as much as you possibly can. And man, I just thought he was all in control, and I thought he looked really good, and he did exactly what the team needed tonight. They needed him to go deep into the game. They needed him to control the game, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, there was a point I was doing the pitch count game where I think he was at like 81 pitches, I think, in the 5th inning. And I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be really close, because I knew they would push him past 100 pitches, but I didn't know how much past 100 pitches they would go, because even though this is an elimination game and he's not going to pitch tomorrow anyway, like you're not saving him for anything, like they're still not going to be reckless. So it ended up being 110 pitches, but I didn't know how much over 100 would be. So I knew he had to get at least 7. And I think if it was, say it was like 100 or 99 or 100, you might have seen him come back out for the 8th.
Oh, no doubt about it. I think that, what did he end with?
110.
108, 110. Yeah, the fact that he won 110, that the 8th wasn't going to happen, but no, absolutely, he was going 7. You could tell that he wanted 7 innings, and
it just
that
feels
base
so
hit
much
in the
better
7th,
than a 6-inning start. A 7-inning start is just so much better than a 6-inning start.
Oh, 100%. And the base hit in the 7th inning too. Like if you even get on the top step at that point, like he's going to give you one of those embarrassing moments.
Give you the Mike Messina
when you try to come out there, like no, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look very different than that. And you're not going to come out of that looking good. So especially after last night's ordeal with you not communicating with your players effectively and telling them what the actual situation was and what you can expect in a given game. If I'm a player, I kind of want to know what a little bit what to prepare for. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit. Allow me to conduct myself as a professional. If you're going to tell me that I'm only used in emergencies, to be ready for that emergency. But also, I'm going to tell you when you say, "Hey, you're only available for an emergency," I'm going to tell you, actually, Skip, my arm feels good, feels strong, feel like I could pitch tonight. You need me in the 9th inning, I'm ready. Give me the opportunity to say that.
So didn't Holmes before game 3, so he was feeling some soreness, but he said, I can go if needed. He didn't use the word emergency. Boone then took that to mean he's only available in an emergency, which he would consider to be position player pitching or the last guy in the bullpen. So it was never, the word emergency was never said by Holmes, but it was understood by Boone, and he just took that. So that's where the miscommunication was. I'm not giving Boone an excuse there. There's no excuse. It's still ridiculous. But apparently that's what happened.
Anyway, We won game 4 going to game 5. So all water under the bridge at this point, because it doesn't matter. We're moving on to an elimination game for everybody, do or die. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But man, this game, the fact that they came out early and that Bader home run was just freaking massive, because it did, a lot of what yesterday did, but in a much higher stakes position with back against the wall. I mean, wasted no time and gave Gerrit Cole that lead that he needed to really just settle in and throw free and easy. And I thought he took advantage of that.
Once it was 3-0, it's like there's your runs, Gerrit. That's what you're getting. Don't give up more than 3 runs, and he didn't give up. He gave up 2 runs. It's weird. I was thinking about this as Bader hit the home run. I mean, obviously, I'm loving watching him, and he's been obviously an exciting player. But isn't it weird rooting for him and watching him, because we didn't get to see him all season? And part of the thing with watching your team play in the playoffs is the whole journey to get there and the ups and downs through the season. And because he was acquired at the deadline and then didn't play until September, it's like this is a brand new player we're watching. Really, it's just kind of weird to watch him making such a huge impact in the playoffs when this is just brand new. Harrison Bader is brand new. It might as well be a new acquisition, like you're starting a season or something.
Yeah, I know, but there's you see that a lot at the end of the year. I mean, we kind of see that with Cabrera and some of the younger guys that got called up.
Cabrera, he was
there for a little bit, but not too long. I mean, this does happen pretty often with a young guy, especially if you have young guys that have some prospect and are actually going to be called up. So yeah, I think it's fun. It's like new candy. It's new toy. It's something good. And the fact that he's new candy, the fact that he's got energy that he does, and you can tell that he just gels with the guys. You could tell that he gets into this clubhouse really well, and he's a good clubhouse guy too. He and Judge have some good back and forth in the dugout that the camera picks up. But yeah, man, he's fun, and he hit the piss out of that ball. So
he owns Quantrill. This is, I think, his 4th home run off of Quantrill. They said
he was 5. I think he's 5 for 7 in his career now after today.
Unreal. I just imagine Brian Cashman up in the box, just his smile like the Grinch, going wider and wider every Harrison Bader home run, because he got a lot of shit for that Jordan Montgomery trade. And that trade is
the best move. That's the best move of the deadline.
By far been the biggest impact move at the deadline. Shouldn't have been, but it has been. I also want to get back to Gerrit Cole. So I think Cleveland's also a really good matchup for Cole. Because yes, they do put bat on ball and they had a lot of base runners, but other than Ramirez, who just throw the ball at his feet because he's going to swing at it. Like he's just looks completely lost. I know he's gotten a couple bloop hits, but a couple of those pitches he's been swinging at were terrible. Obviously, the one
that slider was nasty.
The home slider,
the slider was nasty.
Yeah, but still, that was at his legitimately hit him in the feet almost.
But he's expecting the ball to go the other way, and it just goes
exactly. You saw. On TV, it looks so much worse because you see where the ball finishes. But if you're standing in the batter's box, exactly what Logan just said, you're expecting that ball to drop to the bottom of the zone or cut a little bit out, and you're expected to to have an opportunity to swing at that pitch, and he just got completely fooled.
The reason I think Cleveland is a pretty good matchup for Cole is because they only have a couple of guys in the lineup that are really dangerous home run hitters, and that's the thing that Cole is going to get beat on. It's a home run. Naylor took him deep and then had the most outrageous celebration of all time. He's walking around like cradling a baby. Live when it happened, I didn't know what he was doing, and I was just like, this is the most animated home run celebration for a guy that just hit a solo home run and his team is still losing that I have ever seen. I legitimately laughed at it. And then obviously we heard what it was about, and he thinks he's Gerrit Cole's daddy because I guess he owns him. He had a couple home runs off of him in the wild card a couple years ago.
That was his first hit of the playoffs off of him.
Yeah.
Now, just so it's clear.
So it's just like it was just outrageous. But like you got Naylor, you got Ramirez. I think Quan is one of the most difficult at bats, but he's not really a home run hitter, even though he hit a homer off of Cole in the first game. But my point is that lineup is not full of home run hitters. So for Cole, he's going to give up a couple hits, but he's not going to get beat with 4 singles in an inning because he's Gerrit Cole. So even when we saw the Guardians get guys on base, and they had a couple, I think the leadoff runner was on in each of the first 3 innings, I believe. He either got a double play or he got a big strikeout or he got something. So in that sense, I think it is a pretty solid matchup for him.
And I just to clear this up as well, to put a little bit more color commentary on what Naylor was doing. I retweeted a friend of the program, Andy Bell, covers the Guardians. She said Tristan McKenzie talked about Josh Naylor's rocking the baby celebration earlier this month. Nails, when he hits home runs off people, he calls them his son, hence rocking the baby as he rounds up the. So it's not just Gerrit Cole.
Well,
it's what he does. Apparently, he just disrespects every single person.
Never seen it before. Certainly never saw it that animated.
And when you look at the uniform and you're going around there, holding something lower, kind of around your nutsack,
you thought it was like I got.
You have no marbles. Like, yeah, he's like, I have bigger nuts than you. I thought he was going, I have bigger nuts than you. That's what I thought he was doing.
The celebration.
Just to clean a couple of ends that Boone is talking to the media right now. Nestor obviously available out of the pen in some capacity, which is good. Quote unquote, I know we didn't talk about this yet. Maybe it's a good segue. They asked him if Oswaldo Cabrera will start at shortstop tomorrow, and his quote was, "Yeah, probably."
Yeah,
can't say 100%. Yeah,
yes,
that would hurt IKF's feelings too much, but he'll say, "Yeah, probably."
Okay, like at this point, we're not worried about feelings. Yeah, probably is just as insulting as yeah, definitely. Yeah, what'd you think of that move? I loved it. We talked about it last night, that would they put Oswaldo at shortstop? I'm happy they did. It's too bad Stanton can't play left field. Obviously, he can't play left field because that would be the optimal lineup, I think. Put Stanton out in left. You can DH Carpenter with Oswaldo at shortstop. But Hicks was in the lineup instead.
Hicks was in the lineup, worked to look, I'll give him a little bit of credit, then I'll shit all over him. But he worked a walk. He hit the ball hard in his last at bat. That was just right at the first baseman. First baseman made a nice play, if that was the one I'm thinking of. And but then he completely dogged it in left field and didn't go after the
what was that?
The fly ball that he should have caught, should have taken control over, and would have prevented that first run. But no, he let old man Josh Donaldson go back on a ball and then full body dive after it when he's jogging with the thumb up his ass, staring at the play.
Yeah, he was jogging pretty much the whole way for that ball, like as if it was going to be an easy routine play for Donaldson. You see him coming over, like that's a tough play for an infielder going out trying to catch a ball over your shoulder. If the outfielder can get it, he takes it 100% of the time, and he's just there jogging. Yeah. I mean,
it's fine. They won.
It's Aaron Hicks. I mean, what are we expecting at this point? Like, he's going to do something that pisses you off. But
yeah,
but no, IKF is for as long as they go in the postseason. I think IKF is riding the bench at this point, and he's going to be a runner or a defender if you need it because you pinch hit for someone. But
great third baseman.
Yeah, maybe put him at third base.
A good question from a person in the chat, Team Newman on Twitter. It's fun that we can do this. Are you guys hoping for a rain out tomorrow? There is rain in the forecast here in New York. It's kind of interesting, actually.
Well, yes and no, because I guess would help the Yankees more is the question, because that would put Bieber back in play.
But it would put Nestor back in play to start as well.
Okay, but Nestor's going to pitch anyway.
Yeah, but their bullpen is stacked and rested, and the Yankees bullpen is exhausted.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It does help the Yankees, but then you're facing a Bieber to start with a stacked and rested bullpen.
With a full complement of relievers, which are best in the second half of the league.
You're facing their best pitcher and one of the best starters in the league, plus an elite bullpen fully rested. Yes, it also helps you as well. So I think it helps both teams. But at this point, I'm going to take the momentum going into tomorrow and just.
Yeah, I'd almost rather them have to deal with the travel day and come into New York and into a new place, and the Yankees at least being back at home and trying to use that to their advantage. So no, I think I'd rather them play tomorrow, because every advantage that we get with rest, they also get, and I think that their advantage is actually is actually a little bit more. And so I'd rather them feel uncomfortable, as whatever the uncomfortable situation happens with a travel day like that. I understand both, but one team's going home and the other's not. So they could do something like, I don't know if you saw on the Vikings Miami Dolphins game today, but they had like a thermometer on the sideline. Did you see that? It was like one was 70 degrees and the other was 90 degrees.
Oh, because the shade versus the sun.
Yeah. They probably had certain fans that were blowing cold, can we just do something like that? Crank up crank the AC,
just maybe
crank the AC, or
maybe there's like no hot water in the visitor clubhouse or something like that.
Yeah. Piss all over their toilet seats, something.
Well, do you remember the stories of like the Oakland Coliseum? Like they used to just not clean the visiting clubhouse. I mean, they would just leave shit from the previous team in there.
Go get a couple of those pizza rats, throw them in the clubhouse.
This might also kind of go into the decision. So the starter for tomorrow for the Guardians, Aaron Savali, who's their probably fourth best pitcher. He faced the Yankees twice this year. The first time was that game after the IKF double game that Cole started and they won 10-2. He went 3 innings and gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and a homer. And then in Cleveland, he pitched one of the games of the doubleheader and went 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. That the first one, he had a really tough start to the season, and it looks like he did finish off a little bit better, but still not.
Yeah, his ERA is hovering around 5. I mean, in reality, what is he one time through the Yankees order? Unless he's absolutely.
I was going to say, getting into the second inning, max if he's giving up any runs.
I mean, basically, if he shuts them down one time through the order, maybe they let him go on. But like we just talked about, how Clase is fully rested, Karenchik is fully rested, and really they haven't. Their bullpen is not nearly as taxed as the Yankees, and it's deeper than the Yankees to begin with. So
Yankees haven't seen these guys as much. Also,
I think their Francona is much more willing to have a full-on bullpen game than not willing, but much more equipped to have a full-on bullpen game than the Yankees are right now.
I agree with that. Yeah, so I'm really, Mother Nature needs to stay away.
Well, it's like it wasn't supposed to rain today, and all of a sudden in the 4th and 5th inning, it's just raining. I'm just like, wait, is it like they showed like a wide angle of the stadium? I'm like, it looks like it's raining. Is it raining? And it's like, oh God, really? Like we're gonna have a rain delay here, and Gerrit Cole's gonna be sitting for 45 minutes. Like that's where my mind went. But I don't know about you guys though. So the first 3 games of this series, I sat on the couch and I just watched it. Tonight, I couldn't sit still. I was going to the kitchen constantly.
You could sit still last night in that 9th inning?
I mean, not the 9th inning, but pretty much the whole game before that. I was sitting on the couch.
Pacing around that hotel room.
I was pacing tonight. I was like going to the kitchen. I was like emptying the dishwasher. In between, anything I could get my hands on to like not worry about how they're going to get the final 6 outs of this game. And those ended up being like the easiest 6 outs of the game. That's what I was doing tonight. So I can only imagine tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was the same way. I couldn't sit. It was just. I felt like I was sinking into the couch at that point, so I just needed to walk around and needed to do I got the foam roller out at one point. I'm like, I just need to stay active.
They asked
Get the hammies nice and loose.
Yeah,
they asked Gerrit Cole about Josh Nelly's celebration, and he said he didn't see it. Which is
wait, why do you not see that?
Whatever. He said he didn't see it in the moment, but was later aware of it, and his quote was, "quote unquote, whatever. It was cute."
Yeah, that's a good response.
Okay, cool.
Better than
So just circle the calendar when they play them for the first time next year, and
he gets one.
We'll
in the
see
head.
If someone gets buzzed.
It's like you want to do a set like this is not. We're not.
But again, he's crazy. Watch out. He's crazy. He might charge the mound with the bat.
He might. You remember when it was a minor league game for the Pawtucket Red Sox. Their player kicked the catcher and then charged the mound. I think it was Alcantara. I don't know. I forget his name. I think it was Alcantara.
No, it was wasn't it one of the in the league? Oh God, his name. Keep going. I'll find his name.
Anyway, so yeah, like Naylor is poisoned, and he's got a brother in the dugout too. Like who knows? They've got some tag team shit going on. Like they'll run out there, start choke slamming people. Like I
want nothing to do with that. I want nothing to do with that crazy.
They have some tag team stuff from back in the day that they've got planned.
Oh hell yeah! Back in the day, they're practicing it in the hotel room.
on the two queen.
They got their
beds.
kids. They got their kids in on this. Like you all of a sudden you get like an 8-year-old kid flying over and starts gouging your eyeballs out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Gerrit, I mean, it's like I tweeted after that. If that does not, because obviously it got their attention, right? Like if that doesn't piss Cole and the Yankees off to shut this game down and win it, then nothing will. And I don't know if that had a factor on the game in a positive way for the Yankees. We can say it did because they owned the game after that. So, you know, we can use that narrative. They had a bunch of opportunities to blow that game open, and they didn't. I mean, they got enough runs. In the 5th inning, it was that Glaber short hop liner double play to end the inning, and he wasn't running hard down the line. I don't know if he thought the ball was caught or not, but like, you know, if we're sitting here waiting for Glaber to be hustling down the line, like that's just not who he is and what he does.
Well, the ball looked like it was caught. First of all,
he didn't even. He really didn't even like let up that much either. He was
just running at like 85% the whole way. But like, so I don't know. And then the big opportunity was the 2nd and 3rd after Judge infield single and Rizzo got a bloop. Finally, the Yankees got a bloop in their favor, and Stanton hits the sac fly. It's like, okay, you got 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and you want them to play a couple runs for insurance, and they just got the one. I don't know what they do with the lineup in Game 5, but I think I'm done with Donaldson batting 5th.
Really?
Yeah. He's an automatic out.
He's there's just not a lot. There's not a lot behind him that's going to give you a ton more, to be honest. So he's hitting 5 or 6. Like I don't know what
he's been actually having.
What you're going to be doing from him. I thought he's had some decent at bats.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm just looking at their numbers right now. I mean, Stanton has, I think, just the 1 hit, which was his home.
No, Stanton hasn't done anything. Judge
has the 2 hits. I mean, Rizzo's been good. Glaber's hitting 188.
I know Judge and Stanton have not been great. It's so, but like at that,
Cabrera hit the home run, and that's it.
Yeah, your point that none of them are doing anything is true, but I don't know. I just have no confidence in Donaldson at the plate. I don't think you say his at bats are good. I don't see that. I don't see his good at bats. I think he looks pretty much overmatched. I know he had a good. The first game was good. He had 2 hits. Obviously, the one that he thought was a home run. Then he had another 2 hits in that game. But that's it. I don't know.
Delman Young was the guy I was thinking of, by the way.
That was not who it was. It was not Delman Young.
I know you're thinking of a different one. He like karate. He like roundhouse kicked the umpire and then charged them out.
No, it was the catcher. He drop kicked the catcher and then charged them out with the bat.
It was so fast too. It's like, God damn. All right, here we go.
So I don't
Josh
know.
Naylor's brother comes out and puts you in a chokehold.
Exactly. I don't know how much they can do with the lineup is, I guess, the takeaway there.
No, there's really not. I mean, there's unless you're figuring out a way to get Carpenter in the game somehow, then there's not much that just completely depends on Stanton playing the outfield.
If he didn't play the outfield today, he's not going to play the outfield.
Right. So
it's
so the lineup is staying relatively same. Carpenter's going to be a pinch hitter. This is all I've been dreaming for. I need that mustache to come in and give me a big pinch hit home run. That's what he's going to do.
He's had 1 at bat in the series, right? He had the 1 at bat in Game 2.
Game 2,
and he struck out.
Yeah,
good at bat though. Again, right off the bench, he saw like 8 pitches or something. Like
his first live at bat in 2 months. Anything else you want to touch on from this game?
It went fast. I will say that the game definitely moved along pretty quickly. It was an efficient game, and I thought pretty clean. You know, the whole thing really pretty clean. Gerrit Cole, again, just controlled that game and was and I'm glad he did it. But it was fast and painless, and thank God they came out with the win.
I want to ask you about what your thoughts are on Rizzo's aggressive base running in the first.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh boy.
I mean, that wasn't aggressive base running. That was just stupid. It was a bad read. It was dumb.
There's a fine line
and it was
between aggressive.
It was also on first base. It's not like his normal, like, I'm going to take – you could do that a little bit more on second base, but you're right in front of the pitcher at that point. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It was just dumb. It was.
And I also thought
Made no sense.
The situation you've got Stanton up, you just got to run across. It's just like, let's see, let force Quantrill to make pitches to Stanton there. Don't gift them an out.
He had 2 plays. So if we're nitpicking here on the it could have cost him a run. Absolutely could have. But that the double down the line, that bloop double that fell, it wasn't a bloop double. It was a ball down the line that's probably a double in most situations. But it was he ended up on second base, and then the Stanton hit the long fly ball to center field. I have a problem, and this happens a lot, but I have a problem with him going halfway, more than halfway really, and not being able to get back enough to tag up and get to third base with less than 2 outs. He needs to be standing on third base with 1 out every single time. No excuse. You need to be standing on third, because if that ball falls and hits the wall, you're scoring anyway.
Exactly.
You're scoring anyway. So you take a few steps off the bag to give yourself a little bit of a running start off the bag so that you can round third and score. But you need to make damn sure that you're able to tag up and get to third base.
Also refresh my memory on that. Quan pretty much was camped under it, right? Like he had to run for it, but it's not like
he was not camped. He was not camped.
But it wasn't like he had to. It wasn't like it was a question until the very end if he was catching that ball. He ran a good distance for it, but like you knew pretty soon he was catching that ball. Once you saw the height of the ball and where he was, like I knew he was catching that ball.
Either way, he definitely tracked the ball down. So, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter. If he doesn't catch the ball, you're going to score anyway. That's the point. You're scoring on a single from second base. You're going to score on that ball when it starts bouncing around a little bit. So, and worst case, if you don't, you're standing on third base with no outs. So it's really just there's no purpose of you going halfway at that point. You should be going back to make damn sure you need to be on third base. Bottom line, you need to be on third base at least.
How soon is the Cleveland replay nerd getting fired after the game?
Oh, so bad. What's up with that?
I mean, the first one was egregious. He was out by a mile.
The second one, the umpire literally said he's off the bag. That's why. Like he made the motion like he's off the bag.
That's the thing.
And they were like, challenge. I was like, what?
They must have
the Jose Ramirez tag. I mean, he was out by like 6 inches.
Yeah, it was just.
I don't know what
they also
at.
challenged. Didn't they also? No, the Yankees challenged the hit by pitch
off the bag,
which
the hit by pitch, right?
Hit by pitch, which I couldn't tell either way, but I was surprised they overturned that, frankly, because one angle looked like he could have got hit, one angle it looked like he didn't get hit, and the call on the field was he got hit. So
the view from center field clearly showed that he did not get hit.
Yeah. Right. But then the view from the dugout looked like the ball was like wedged between his foot and the dirt, which would be a hit.
All you need is one that says clearly that you're not hit by a pitch. The one that you're talking about, you can't see the other side of the ball, so you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, how you feeling going to game 5? Going into game 5?
Hey, this is it. I feel about as good as I could be, I guess. They did what they needed to today. If momentum is a thing, they have it. Going back home, place is going to be rocking, and yeah, they're trying to be the only. Are they the only team with a bye still left?
Astros.
I think
Houston.
Oh, Houston, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in the National League's out.
Before
kind of a crazy little tournament going on right now.
Before the series started, we said win the Cole games and then get one of the other ones. Like that's the path to victory against the Guardians. So they got both of the Cole games. There's only one game left. You got to get that one, obviously. So
Jameson Taillon.
Yeah, I mean he's an opener, right? Like he's not starting. I mean he's starting the game, but he's opening the game.
Okay, whatever you want to call him. He's get the ball to start, but yes, he's gonna. Here's the thing, though. The difference is that it's not a.
So how far are they going to push Taillon?
I think with trouble, they're definitely going to go a different way. But Herman, I would assume Herman's Herman and Nestor. Maybe Nestor's number.
I would say
the second
Nestor
guy
is
in, or
the next guy out. I mean, might depend
Sure.
on where they are in the lineup. Also, one thing that I hope they do is, and this is something that I always was upset, not that it probably would have changed the result, but in the 2004 ALCS Game 7, Kevin Brown was in trouble in the second inning, and it was guys on base. Obviously, Johnny Damon was coming up, and they brought in Javier Vazquez, a starting pitcher, to try and clean up a mess when they could have brought in a short reliever who was used to coming in to innings with guys on base to try and get out of that and then start a starting pitcher in a clean inning. So Game 5 tomorrow, if Tyone is in trouble in the second or the third inning, you don't have to go to Nestor Cortez or have to go to Domingo Herman next just because they're the next long guy. You can go to Trevino or you can go to Wandy if it's Naylor
They
up
might
with
try.
2 guys on.
So I was just going to say, so that lane that they've been using for Wandy, they're going to try and get Litke to face that lane earlier in the game. 100%.
Sure.
Similar
Fine.
matchup. And then they're going to try and use Miguel Castro as a get out of an inning early card if they need it. I think
I'm okay with that. Use a reliever who is a short reliever who is more used to getting out of jams than a starting pitcher is, and then you don't have to have him face you can take him out of the game and let Nestor or let Domingo Herman start a clean inning in the next inning. So I hope that's the approach they take instead of just going in order of how the order is preset before the game starts.
Yeah, I think in that tomorrow we're going to see that 3 batter minimum rule come into play a lot, because you're going to see obviously guys that are going to, if Litke were to come in during that, he's going to have to face 3 guys, and that
Not
could
if it's the end of an inning though. That's the thing.
Or if it's the end of an inning, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back at it again after Game 5. Everyone, try and stay calm.
buckle up.
Talk to you guys then.